1965 Honda RA272 Formula One racing car in VR. Hello there everybody and welcome to Oberfed Gaming. I am the Oberfed. Today we're driving a 1965 Honda RA272 in a special event called, get this, Honda RA272 One-Make, meaning all the cars in the race are the same. We're driving it at the Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. If not, I apologize. We're doing 4 laps, and we started 12 of 12 cars with a rolling start. Now these laps are decent length. They're going to take a little bit of time to do, but we're going to need that time and the length because the laps are going to go fast and slow depending on what position you're in and how good you're driving, I suppose. Now we got 11 cars we got to pass, and if we pass 3-4 cars per lap, then we should be okay. Now when I first started driving in Gran Turismo, and I didn't use VR at the time, but then when I switched over to VR, I really enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun driving the little rally cars and the smaller cars in the races, and even the Porsches and the little bit faster cars. But the ones I always had trouble with were these kinds of cars, the Formula Ones and the really, really fast races. So imagine my surprise when I got into this, and I guess through practicing and driving fairly a lot, I guess. You know, I must have gotten better and picked up some tips and tricks along the way without knowing it, because this race went actually quite well. This Formula One is just absolutely awesome to drive. It handles the road really well, sticks to the track like there's crazy glue on the tires, and we got noodles of power, you know, so we can pretty well pass wherever there's a nice straight section. Now when there's corners, of course, and you're going back and forth, it's really hard to pass without maybe even getting into an accident. And I don't like that type of drive. I like to be able to pass a car nice and clean, and if I have to wait a few seconds, that's okay, because I think that my patience in driving these races has really paid off, because I used to drive a lot faster and a lot more chaotic, because I had this notion that when you're racing a race like this, you have to be in front in the very first lap. I don't know why I drove like that. That's just the way I did it. Until I realized that maybe I should change the way I'm doing things, because I was getting results that I didn't like. And now, having a little more patience, going a little bit slower at times, it really pays off. You get better lap times, you get a better race, you enjoy it more. And the fun part is the main part, obviously. For me, anyhow. I don't know why other people race, but I race for fun. So if I'm not having fun, then I don't even want to do it. But this particular race was absolutely awesome. I really, really enjoyed this one. Now we're into our second lap already, and this car's got so much power that if you go around the corner a little bit too fast, or if you start to throttle up before you're out of the corner, you're going to spin out. So you got to be aware of that. More so with this car than I think any other car I've ever driven. But anyhow, keep it under control, slow down for your corners, and just try and catch up to the next guy. Now, I'm not sure, because we're driving in VR and we don't have the display on, I'm not sure what position we're in, because like normal, the Oberfed counts the laps, but he doesn't count. I always forget to count the cars I pass. So all I do is I just keep racing to the best of my ability, because I don't want to over push it, so I'm not going to do that anyhow. Even if I'm way back, I won't push it to the point where I'm going to start spinning out and stuff, because like I said before, that's just no fun. So what I do is I just keep racing, catch up to the next guy like this, and if this next guy is going my speed and keeps going, then the only thing we can be doing is catching up to any cars that are in front of us. It has to, because I'm not going any slower. I just prefer to have a little bit of a pace car in front of us, I guess, if that's what you want to call them. So having said all that, we haven't seen any cars in front of these two for a little bit. Now that's starting to lead me to believe that these two cars are the leaders, because at the speed we're driving, we should have caught up to somebody. So as we come out of this little S turn, we're finishing our second lap, just starting our third lap here now. So if we're gonna see anybody, we're gonna see them here, because I'm gonna pass this guy here. And then now, as far as we know, and we're just going to assume that for the time being, that this is the lead car. Now, if he's the lead car, and we're in the third lap, then there is really no point in me passing him. And what I like to do is I stay with him, try to stay as close with him as possible without tailgating him, of course, because you don't want to run into him. But try to stay with him and keep an eye on that rearview mirror for this third lap. Now, some people might go, well, you know, that you could pass him, so why don't you just pass him and go? Well, my reasoning is that, number one, I don't like to be the lead car throughout the race. I prefer to be the lead car right near the end. That's just a personal preference. I prefer to chase a car, because this way I can see my competition, and if I know for a fact that he's the number one car, I've got a whole lap left to pass him in. So why should I try to drive as hard as I can and maybe have something come up where I hit him or whatever? But even if I make a clean break and I get by him, I don't want to lead the race for 1.5, 2 full laps, not knowing how hard I got to push it to get away from the guy behind me. So this way, I can look in the rearview mirror, and the car that we passed a little while ago is still visible every once in a while. So we know he's got to be a couple of seconds behind us, and this guy is right in front of us. So that's, for me, that is the optimum place to be. As we're coming around the corner here, soon this lap will be over, and then we're going to go into our fourth lap, and that would be my preference, to pass him there. Now, hopefully, he won't zip away on us, which is why we fight like a dog, just to try and keep up with him through this lap. Try and stay with him as best you can. And enjoy the race in the meantime. It's an absolutely gorgeous track to drive. It flows just fantastic, where you can cut the corners and just kind of, I don't know, it's just like floating on the track. And the graphics in the race is just gorgeous. Like, everything is beautiful. The handling is great. And I just absolutely love this race. This has been one of my favorite races. Not saying the track is my most favorite, but the race itself with these vehicles is really responsive, and it drove really nice in this race. So as we're coming up around the corner through this little S curve, that will be the third lap. Now, of course, if the guy that I'm following is going really slow, then I'll pass. I'm not going to wait for him. But if he's going at decent speed, I'll stay behind him. But now it's time to look for an opening to pass him, because if we can get by him now, you know, we can build up a couple of second buffer zone between him and us, 2 or 3. Just keep an eye on him in the rearview mirror, and then just drive the track at a steady speed that you had when you passed him, and keep going at that speed. And whenever you get to a straight section like this, just open wide up. You'll make the gap a little bit bigger, as you can see in the rearview mirror on the left-hand side. He's no longer visible. And by doing that, you can slow down a little bit more around these corners, and then speed up again once you get out of it. Yeah, I don't know if you want to call it a strategy. It's just the way I like to do it, and for me, it seems to work out, and I enjoy, and I end up having a lot of fun doing it. So, you know, the car stays on the track for me, rather than overshooting the corners like I used to do. That wasn't always a lot of fun. So I've gotten better at these, and I think I'm going to go and revisit some of the other fast races that I sort of sidestepped for the time being, because maybe I can do them now. Anyhow, this is an absolutely fantastic race, and I hope you enjoyed it, and maybe even got some tips and tricks out of it, you know, through watching it. Anyhow, this we're almost at the end of the lap, and I do think that the Opel is going to take first place in this. I don't think we're going to be denied. As we're coming up around this corner here, we've got a little ways left to go yet. boy, I tell you, it is just an absolute dream to drive. And if I had a fan in front of me, I would swear I was sitting in that Formula One car right now, racing it down the road. Anyhow, I had a lot of fun doing it. Really enjoyed it, and I hope you did too. I hope to see you back at OpenFed Gaming again real soon. Until then, you've been racing in a Formula One car with the OpenFed.